Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Hispanic Marketing Radio with Hernan Vasquez. I'm Hernan Vasquez, your host. And the main point and the goal, the objective of this podcast and this information that we're sharing with you is to give you guys the tools and the support that you need so that you can grow your marketplace and your market share to those Hispanic communities that are hugely underserved. And they're basically right under our noses. So if that's something that you want to do, if that's something that you want your company to do, if you're already successful, if you're already selling your products and services and you want help when it comes to targeting and reaching out to those communities, feel free to go to hernanvazquez.com. That's spelled HERNANVAZQUEZ.com/apply. hernanvazquez.com/apply. And complete that little form that's in there so that my team can get in touch with you and we can set up a call. And the main point of today's episode is to show you guys or to talk to you guys about 3 myths when it comes to marketing to the Hispanic communities. So you guys know already, if you're listening to this episode, it's because you have some interest into growing your marketplace. And the reality is that most entrepreneurs think that they need to pretty much reinvent the wheel. What that means is that they need to come up with new products and services pretty much all the time if they want to keep on growing their revenue. And something that I discovered while coaching and consulting with some other clients, specifically on the marketing side of things, digital marketing to be more specific, is the fact that you could double or triple or even quadruple your sales if you were to target these communities that are hugely underserved, specifically in the US. This also applies to Latin America and in some regard to Spain, but we're talking mostly to the US, and there's a reason for that. And when I'm talking to other entrepreneurs and business owners, they go through this mentality that, there are 3 main points, there are 3 key points here that I want to mention, which are the 3 myths that we're going to cover. So myth number 1 is that translating your content from English to Spanish should do the trick. In other words, translating your content from English to Spanish, whether it is your website content, whether it is your emails or your ads, your advertising, from English to Spanish, just like that should be enough. And that is myth number 1, and it's a big trap that a lot of entrepreneurs go through because they don't understand the nuances of the language. So right now we have tools, we have Google Translate, we have our phones that will allow us to, pretty much translate whatever we want. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the content of our message will be well understood and will be effective. In other words, if you really want to connect to an emotional level with these communities, what you need to do is to hire a marketing firm or a translator with some marketing expertise that will help you craft powerful copy, powerful messaging to these communities. Because again, translating is usually not enough. It doesn't do the trick. Myth number two is that when looking to Hispanic communities, most entrepreneurs that want to start, going into those communities, they think that they're all the same. And the reality is that people that are living right now in the US, they come from many, many different backgrounds. They come from a lot of countries in Latin America. Some of them come from Spain. And each country, funny enough, have their own little nuances, have their own little way of saying things. So for instance, I was born in Buenos Aires, Argentina, and we speak really, really, really differently than somebody from Medellin in Colombia, for instance. So that is something that you need to understand. Now, some of my friends, they studied, radio broadcasting, and they are broadcasters and whatnot. And the more, I would say, one size fits all, and I'm doing air quotes right now, is the Mexican language. And when they're taught to talk without an accent, they do it in Mexican because that's the first language that people go through when they are translating from English to Spanish, specifically movies and series and whatnot. But that doesn't necessarily mean that everyone will talk the same. So if you add a little bit of flavor to your content online, to your copy, to your landing pages, to your emails, to your advertising, if you add a little bit of flavor, you will have better success when it comes to targeting these communities. Okay? So that is myth number 2. And then myth number 3 comes out of an article that I just read on Forbes that specify that the vast majority of Hispanic consumers, 90% of Hispanic consumer, will stream video on either a smartphone or a tablet, 10% more than non-Hispanic consumers. So myth number 3 is that you can keep on promoting your content through traditional avenues and traditional means. If you're doing radio ads and that's working for you in English, it might not work for you when it comes to targeting Hispanic communities. If you're doing print advertising or sending emails or sending mails, like in the mail, physical mail, it might not work as expected. So some entrepreneurs will apply the exact same strategies that I just talked to you guys about, which is translating. Number 2, talking all the same to everyone. And number 3, marketing through traditional means. And then they will raise their hands in the air and say, well, this doesn't work. My product is not fit. It's not that it's not fit. It's that you might need to do some tweaks to it so that it's fit to market to these potentially trillions of dollars that you're missing out, you're leaving on the table just because you're not able to crack the code on this community. So again, if you want my team and myself to help you, go to hernanvazquez.com/apply and fill out the little form there, and somebody of my team will reach out to you, and maybe we can get to work together. So thank you for listening to this episode. I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy. Bye-bye.